Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing the story of how I built up my position in Tesla stock, which today is worth approximately 4.2 million US dollars. The reason that I want to share this with you guys and girls is because these are the kind of conversations that I had with investors much more experienced than myself, beginning a little over a decade ago when I was starting to learn about real estate and also curious about business. These early conversations were formative in my own investing journey, not only giving me a sense of what people could achieve, but also how they went about doing so. Many of these early conversations completely blew my mind and massively expanded the scope and scale of what I thought an average person could achieve with a little bit of focus and determination. So in this video, I'm going to share my story. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to Webull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it. So, fair warning, we're going to spend a lot of this video inside spreadsheets. I'm a big fan of data, numbers, who would have thought? And I track my income, my net worth, my investments. I've been doing this meticulously for over a decade. As the saying goes, what gets measured gets managed. I'll show you guys every single purchase I've made of Tesla stock. I'll correlate that with my income, how much I was earning versus how much I put into Tesla stock, everything, complete transparency, just to give you guys the entire story. So let's start at the end. My entire stock portfolio as it stands today, literally all in on Tesla stock. Began buying Tesla stock early 2016, currently hold 5,966 shares of Tesla stock, worth a little over 4 million US dollars as I record this. Who knows what it'll be worth tomorrow? Could be worth $1 million, could be worth 10 million. I'm not going to predict the future, but that's where it stands today. And that's in Australian dollars there for the Aussie viewers watching, close to 6 million AUD. My total gain on Tesla stock as a percent, keeping in mind that I've been buying consistently since 2016 for a period of half a decade or so, almost 420% overall. Some of the early purchases, much higher gains than the more recent stuff. And we can also see over here, I've held my very first Tesla stock for more than 2,000 days at this point, 5.5 years. Annualized rate of return across my entire portfolio, about 75%. And so far, I'm relatively happy with those returns. So now it's time to wind the clock back approximately 6 years and look at my income history over the entire period of time that I've been buying Tesla stock. Like I said, I really do like to track these things, including my income, my net worth, and all of my investment purchases. I've tracked my income history for over 10 years, but this is just focused from December 2015. The first month, I earned my first commissions for my very first full-time business, working as a mortgage broker under an incredible mentor. My income prior to this, working as a graphic designer, was considerably lower and much more stable. This is income adjusted to US dollars, even though I earn my income in Australian, just to keep things easy and consistent since my Tesla stock is also in US dollars. So the first few months in my business there, by the way, I'd been working a few months prior to this, but the commissions took a few months to actually arrive. 7,000 or so, 6,000, pretty poor month there, 2.5 grand. Things increasing relatively steady there. I had a few months in the 20, 30 sort of $1,000 range. Keeping in mind, I was working my face off. 80+ hour weeks, no social life, like nothing else going on in my life. I was staying in a share house to keep my expenses low and just working like an absolute madman. And I worked my ass off for a few years in this business before getting a little bit burnt out and deciding, you know what, time to take a bit of a break, go on sabbatical and figure out where to from here. This business isn't right for me. It's absolutely killing me. I'm enjoying it, but it's just killing me. I've got to figure out where to from here. So there's a period here where I literally was retired / on sabbatical, whatever you want to call it. I was receiving some recurring income every month, 5 or so thousand US dollars per month for work that I'd done in this finance business. Didn't have to lift a finger during this point in time. had a lot of fun, met a lot of people. I was traveling throughout South America, but not actively working whatsoever. I was trying to figure out what to do next. Took some ayahuasca, 4 ceremonies later, figured it out, start this YouTube channel. And now we can see the YouTube channel kicking off as well, and the income has gone to a new level. During this period of time, a little over half a decade, I earned exactly $1,321,412.37 in US dollars. We'll come back to this figure soon. And what did I do with this income? Well, I invested practically every spare cent in Tesla stock. Now, yes, I did have some living expenses, although those were extremely low. Like I said, I was living in a share house to keep my expenses rock bottom. I practically had no social life, so that also helped. But even when I unwound my business and retired/headed overseas on sabbatical, I did so in a third world/developing nation, so my expenses were incredibly low. In fact, it was cheaper for me to go on a date, buy myself dinner, buy dinner for my date, drinks, etc., the whole kit and caboodle, than it was for me back in Australia to go buy groceries and cook a meal for myself at home. So the long and the short of it, for more than half a decade, I kept my expenses rock bottom, even as my income increased by multiples month after month and year after year. And as a result, I was able to invest a substantial percent of my total income in Tesla stock, which is exactly what I did. We're now looking at my complete buy history of Tesla stock, number of shares purchased each time I made a purchase, keeping in mind these figures are split adjusted, and also keeping in mind when I began buying Tesla stock in early 2016, it was a lot cheaper than it is more recently, so we can see that there's a heavy skew towards the early purchases being a large number of shares. The very first purchase split adjusted of Tesla stock that I made, 55 shares, the next 65, the next 175, the next 75, fairly big purchase here, 745 shares back in September 2016. A few more hefty purchases, 500 shares, well, split adjusted. That was actually 100 shares at the time. You guys get the picture right. November 2016, January 2017. At this point in time, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is such an incredibly good bargain. Every spare cent that I was earning was pouring into Tesla stock. And that was almost motivating me to work even harder because I knew the opportunity was so good. It's like, dude, every hour I work, every extra client I bring on in my finance business means more Tesla stock. We can see purchases continued throughout 2018, and even in 2019 when I was quite retired. I'd done so with some spare cash available just in case a rainy day showed up, and guess what? There were plenty of rainy days. I bought heavily in 2019 even though I wasn't really earning any substantial income because Tesla stock was dirt cheap, unbelievably cheap, and I just couldn't help myself. I pretty much blew through my entire safety buffer, my emergency fund, buying Tesla stock in 2019 because I just couldn't resist. And we can see a huge number of consistent purchases starting in 2020. After my YouTube channel kicked off, my income increased. I was like, you know what? I've got to do something with this income. Why would I not be buying Tesla stock? There was plenty of opportunity here. Obviously, these purchases, I was purchasing a lot less stock per transaction because Tesla stock had increased a ton, but still consistently buying. You can see 2020 a load and 2021 buying very consistently as well, right up until the 20th of May, my last purchase of Tesla stock, 13 shares on the 20th of May. So how much of my total income over that period of time did I actually invest in Tesla stock? And also, why do I have a mullet? Now, I don't think I'll ever be able to answer the latter question, but I can answer how much I invested in Tesla stock. Remember that figure from before, my total income earned over that period of time? My total cost basis on Tesla stock is just over 800,000 US dollars. Now, to be fair, before we do this calculation, I have actually borrowed against real estate, pulled out some equity for a rainy day, and it turned out 2019, there was a pretty rainy day, and 2020, there was another rainy day when everyone thought the world was ending. I'm like, yeah, it's not, so I'm going to buy more Tesla stock. But this doesn't account for a large portion of my overall stock portfolio. In fact, it's single-digit percentages of my total stock portfolio by value. So I just wanted to be fair. Some of the purchases made for my Tesla stock has come from borrowed money, and also a small percent from stock that I purchased and sold for a massive profit to buy Tesla stock when it dipped in 2019. So of my total cost basis, more than 90% was from earned income and less than 10% from borrowed money, etc. So my total cost basis, 807,000 US dollars, divided by my total income earned during that period of time, equals approximately 60% of my pre-tax income invested in Tesla stock during that half a decade or so window. Now, obviously, I did have some minimal living expenses during that time as a percent of my total income, and also do need to pay tax on my income. However, being a business owner, having a great accountant, owning a bunch of real estate, and having a lot of deductions as well means the total amount of tax I pay every year is actually a lot less than somebody who'd be earning this as a salary. If we're using really approximate numbers, I lived on about 10% of my income during that period of time. I paid about 30% tax, and the other remaining 60% all of it went into Tesla stock. Now, I often see tweets and comments here on the YouTube channel and other places as well. People saying, man, I really regret, I wish I'd invested more in Tesla stock back in 2017 or 2018 or 2019 or pick your year. I can happily look back over the past 5.5 years with zero regrets, knowing that I literally put every spare cent that I had into this incredible investment opportunity. Now, I know there's going to be a few haters ready to explain how lucky I am. I got so lucky. Of course, I was lucky. That's why I put every dollar into this company. I just was hoping that it was going to the moon. I didn't have any conviction behind my belief whatsoever. I hadn't done any homework whatsoever. No, I'm just completely fucking insane and decided to risk everything betting on this high-risk company without any possibility that I was onto something. Just totally lucky. You got me there, I'm very lucky. It's just like how a decade ago, more than a decade ago actually, I got really lucky investing in real estate after researching for thousands of hours, sleeping on friends' floors and doing whatever it took to save money for my first, second, third and fourth deposit. I'm just a lucky guy. Oh, and let's not even talk about the YouTube channel and the daily videos. That's also luck. And now that I've thoroughly triggered the professional victims, the folks who just like to complain, those who are allergic to hard work, scared of taking risks, complain and try to drag others down, and would much rather find an excuse than a way, I'd just like to walk you guys and girls through my next investment actions. The actions that in 10 years time, people will be looking back upon and going, man, you got lucky again, what a fucking asshole. So first of all, just to clear things up, the reason that I haven't purchased any more Tesla stock since May 2021 is because I have a relatively large tax bill looming, and rather than kicking the can down the road or being a sensible person who puts money away for tax ahead of time, I thought, you know what, Tesla stock's too cheap, I'm just going to keep buying and I'll figure out the tax deal later. So for the last few months, I've been figuring out the tax deal and putting every spare cent away to pay this whopping tax bill. So earlier I was talking about people regretting, oh man, I wish I bought more Tesla stock in 2017, 18, 19, 20. Well, in my opinion, people are going to be saying the same thing in the future. Oh man, I wish I bought more Tesla stock when it was only $700 in 2021. And so once again, I'm going to be the guy with no regrets in 10 years time. So how can I possibly afford to be investing more in Tesla stock when I'm still aggressively saving for my looming tax bill? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a massive announcement. You're about to hear it first here on Solving the Money Problem. I'm officially launching an OnlyFans account. I'm just fucking with you. Sorry to disappoint you guys, and by the way, I literally mean guys. I do read all the comments. I see a few of you simping on there. It's not happening. Dream on. But in all seriousness, I do have another source of capital. Let's talk about that now. This is my real estate portfolio. Well, actually, it's just a spreadsheet representing my real estate portfolio, but you guys know what I mean. Long story short, I kind of forgot that I even owned any real estate after starting this YouTube channel a couple of years ago. It just sits in the background and does its own thing. Let me run you through what we're looking at here. I've got 4 pieces of real estate here, A, B, C, and D. I don't want any of you guys stalking my tenants, so I didn't put the real address in there. In this column here, the last valuation, this is what each of these pieces of real estate was last valued at in Australian dollars, and I increased my loans against each of these properties up to 80%, took that cash out, retired, went overseas. Next minute, Tesla stock gets absolutely wrecked in 2019, and I use a bunch of this capital to buy more Tesla stock. I recently checked in to see what these properties are worth today, and since I last had them valued about 3 years ago, they didn't do much for a few years, but in the last 12 months, they've increased quite a bit, so the new valuations all increased over where they were previously at. This means I now have the opportunity to once again increase my loans from where they are today, around 70, 75, 67%, back up to 80%. The long and short of it means that I can take out about 250,000 Australian dollars, which is about 180,000 US dollars, and every spare cent of that, of course, is going into Tesla stock. So that's a story of how I built my stock portfolio, all in on Tesla stock, and today worth a little over 4.2 million US dollars, plus also how I plan to continue to expand my portfolio, and I'm still buying nothing but Tesla stock. It just seems like such a bargain, especially after Tesla's AI day. So much mind-blowing stuff there that just gives me a huge amount of confidence that this company can continue to grow at a ridiculous rate for decades to come. There's 2 things that Tesla unveiled at AI day that I believe has extended the period of time where this company is going to remain at a crazy rate of growth by at least another decade. The chip and the bot. The 2 stars of my latest piece of merch, available now for a limited time in the merch store. Link in the description if you'd like to pick up your own merch designs. There's shirts, mugs, hoodies, long sleeves, phone cases, you name it. And with that shameless plug out of the way, I just wanted to say I hope you guys and girls have enjoyed this video. These are the kind of things I would love to have been able to watch on YouTube when I was first starting my own investment journey more than a decade ago. And hey, I showed you mine, so I think it's only fair that you show me yours. Let me know in the comments below, what's in your current stock portfolio and what's it worth today? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with Webull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.